Work out for me, work out for me.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Banks coming at you with another health and fitness video that can hopefully help you hit your health and fitness goals. So it's coming down to the end of my cutting season, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited for it to be over because geez Louise, guys, man, it is hard to stay on top of just eating so little calories a day. Like 2,000, like 2,300 calories, it sounds like a lot, but that you hit that quick, man. Like with breakfast, eating 3 meals, breakfast alone can put you damn near halfway. And not to mention lunch. To really hit my goals, I had to eat small portions, but eat a whole lot, like of those small portions. So I pretty much hit my goal. So this is the reason why I want to go ahead and start back bulking up. I started off at like 198, and I was about like 26% body fat. Now I'm like 178, and I'm 10% body fat. So that's a personal best for me. I've never been 10% body fat, not that I know of, until like probably when I was a baby, maybe. Probably was more even then, but it's a real personal best, so I'm really happy with that. I'm proud of myself, and just goes to show when you have dedication and motivation to hit your goals, you can do whatever you set your mind to. Anything you set your mind to, you can accomplish it. No matter how outlandish or no matter what somebody might tell you, that's impossible. Fuck those people. Them people don't know you and they don't know your drive. They don't believe in you, fuck them. Kick them to the curb. But anyway, speaking of body fat, today's video is gonna be about fat. So we're gonna talk about the macronutrient fat, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything about it. So, I know fat gets a real bad rap because a lot of people say, hey, some people might say you need to cut all that out. Cut all the fat out your diet and you'll lose weight. But that is ridiculous because fat is a macronutrient, meaning that it is essential for life. Hence, without it, your body would shut down. And anyway, like I said in previous videos, all the other macronutrients can be converted into fat. So you really can't cut it out regardless. So fat is the number 2 go-to for energy in the body behind carbohydrates. Like I said, anything can be converted into fats, which makes it the number 2. Also, fat is responsible, it contains 9 kcals per gram, meaning for every gram of fat that you eat, you'll be getting 9 calories. So that's also something to watch out for if you're counting calories or you're cutting like I was doing, you count calories. Be cognizant that for every gram of fat, it is 9 calories that you're consuming. So there are 4 different types of fat. There's saturated fat, monounsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fats, and trans fat. So we're going to start off talking about the saturated fats. So saturated fats are considered to be bad for you if you consume too much of it. So you can tell if fat is saturated because it's usually solid at room temperature, and it usually comes from animal fat. So some examples of saturated fat are coconut oil, which is highly saturated. I know you might hear that coconut oil is good for you, it's better than butter. Butter is also saturated fat. And in the grand scheme of things, coconut oil is way better for you than just butter to cook with. However, it is still heavily saturated, and you really should look to using other alternatives than just using straight coconut oil all the time. Now, I'm not saying don't use coconut oil. Like I said, it's the healthier version of butter. It's a way healthier option, although too much can be bad for you, just like with any other saturated fat. Now, monounsaturated fats are considered to be the good fats. They're good for your heart, they're good for weight loss, and they also can be good energy boosters. Now, you can tell if a fat is monounsaturated because it is usually liquid at room temperature. So things such as olive oil. Olives are really good for monounsaturated fat. And also avocados are another example of good sources of monounsaturated fats. These are the fats that you really want to try to consume in exchange for like coconut oil. So there are different brands that have cooking oils that they provide avocado oil as well as olive oil, which is a way better option for you than just using coconut oil all the time. I would recommend that in exchange for coconut oil, you use mostly olive oil in your cooking, which is going to be way better for your heart, way better for your weight loss, and it's going to boost your energy. So next is the polyunsaturated fats. Now, there are usually two types of polyunsaturated fats. There's going to be omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6 fatty acids. So omega-3 is good for reducing inflammation in the cells. This fat is pretty much the best. You want to consume as much of this as possible. You can find this in salmon and flax. So flaxseed, flax oil, anything like that, you can get that into your diet. Also, you can consume fish oils, which you can supplement into your diet. You can find them at pretty much any store that sells supplements. Like Walmart has fish oils. You can take those daily and they're going to be good for your heart as well. So real win-win situation there with omega-3s. Now, omega-6 acids can help support healthy brain and muscle function. However, too much omega-6 can also cause inflammation. So it's the opposite of the omega-3. So you want to eat as much omega-3s as you can, but you want to limit the amount of omega-6 that you eat. But you can find omega-6 fatty acids in corn, soybean, and sunflower oil. So lastly, we are going to cover trans fat. So trans fat is the worst type of fat you could possibly consume in your body, and you should try to stay away from trans fat as much as possible. And here's why. So trans fat was created in the early 1900s basically because it was cheaper to produce than regular saturated fats or animal fats. However, just like saturated fats, trans fats lowers the amount of good cholesterol that you have in your body and increases the amount of bad cholesterol you have in your body, which leads to heart disease. So saturated fats in itself also increases the amount of bad cholesterol in your body, but it does not lower the amount of good cholesterol in your body. So trans fat lowers the amount of good cholesterol and increases the amount of bad cholesterol, while saturated fat only increases the amount of bad cholesterol. So both are bad. Like I stated before, saturated fat, you do not want to consume too much of it because it can lead to heart disease. But trans fat can lead to heart disease much, much faster. So when you, some key identifiers that trans fat is in your food, you can look on the ingredients label on the back of your products. And if you see anywhere the word hydrogenated anywhere on your food means that trans fat. Even if you don't see trans fat anywhere on the nutrition facts, if you look in the ingredients and it says anywhere partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated products in there, that means trans fat. So I'm not gonna say they're trying to trick you, but it's definitely some tomfoolery going around. They're trying to bamboozle us, hoodwink us, lead us astray. However you want to put it, trans fat is bad for you and you should probably stay away from it. So things that are high in trans fat are shortening and margarine. So alternatives to butter. So we've covered the 4 different types of fats, which are saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, and the one that you need to stay away from, trans fats. So next video, I'm going to be putting out some more workouts and stuff like that. So like I said, I've hit my goal of being like 10%. And I mean, I didn't really have a weight per se that I wanted to hit, but me being 178 and 10% body fat is pretty good for me. So Now, what do you do when you hit your goal? You set new goals. You don't get stagnant. You don't get complacent. You set new goals and you keep it fucking pushing. Keep it pushing and you keep it moving. So my next goal is going to be strength related, since I'm going to probably be trying to bulk up. I'm going to be trying to improve my run 1 rep max on a lot of different exercises. And we can go over that in the next video. But hopefully you learned a good bit in this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends or tell a friend. I'm not going to be mad. Just tell everybody. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep it to yourself. Let the people know. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.